Welcome to Vacuum Wars and to our coverage of CES for 2025. The Consumer Electronics Show is no doubt the biggest technology trade show in the world. It's the place to be to find out what new innovations companies have planned for the coming year, and this year CES was bigger and better than ever. Of course, we at Vacuum Wars focus mainly on vacuums with our coverage of CES, but particularly with robot vacuums, where we saw at least 3 huge new trends that showed up at the same time with multiple manufacturers, including a new arms race between Roborock and Dreame. In this video, I'll hit all the highlights, but you can read in-depth articles about most of what I'll mention here on the Robot Vacuum News category page on our website, which you can easily access by going to robotvacuumnews.com. Probably one of the biggest stories this year was the announcement of robotic arms for robot vacuums. For example, with Roborock's new flagship, the Saros Z70, which is equipped with a 5-axis mechanical arm branded as OmniGrip technology. This foldable arm is designed to handle objects weighing under 300 grams, which is a little over half a pound. The arm itself has precision sensors, a camera, and an LED light, and it can accurately identify, grip, and relocate items. They say that you'll be able to control what items to pick up and where to put them away in the app. On the one hand, these new arms, which we'll see later is not just on the Roborock Z70, could be a huge breakthrough in the industry and a new standard, or it could be a fad. It really depends on how well they do, so we will look forward to testing these extensively later this year. The Saros Z70 also has a new navigation system, a new brush roll design, and a few other features we talk about in our in-depth article linked below. Roborock also announced the Saros 10 and 10R. The main innovation with the 10R is an upgraded obstacle avoidance system and navigation system from the previous flagships. It uses the so-called Starsight 2.0 with Vertibeam, the same time of flight system used on the new Z70. The Saros 10 is a totally separate product than the 10R despite the similar name, and it's the first Roborock to include a retracting Lidar system that helps to retain the same slim profile as the others, but with the functionality of a top-mounted spinning Lidar. As we'll see later, these retractable Lidar systems are another one of the brand new trends that showed up at the same time from different manufacturers. The final thing I'll mention for Roborock is that the Saros lineup all has the same system released last year for the Crevo Curve, which sort of jacks up the robot to allow it to clear large thresholds, which is yet another thing that everyone seems to be doing this year, as we'll see. Moving on to Dreame, one of the fastest growing robot vacuum brands, and they had a big year at CES. They answered Roborock in many ways, including announcing their own robotic arm attachment, which also can access and use various cleaning attachments with its base. They say theirs will have a 400-gram weight limit, which is 100 grams more than Roborock's. It also has various sensors and a camera on the arm, but it looks like they're promoting it with more use cases, which will be interesting to test. Much more is known about Dreame's new flagship robot vacuum, though, the X50 Ultra, where Dreame revealed its own all-new system designed to handle large thresholds. They call it the Pro Leap system, and it uses automatically extending wheel mechanisms, and this gives it more official clearance height than the Roborocks at 60 millimeters for 2-tiered thresholds and 40 millimeters for single-tiered thresholds. The X50 also has Dreame's first dual brush roll design, an upgraded navigation and obstacle avoidance system. The X50 also has a retractable Lidar system. They claim theirs has a clearance of 89.5 millimeters when it is retracted, which is slightly higher than the 79.8 that Roborock claims for the Saros lineup. They also announced an innovative multi-mop replacement dock, which can hold up to 3 mopping pads, and it automatically swaps them at the base station, which lets users assign specific mops for different zones. Dreame also announced a new cordless vacuum, the Z30, with intelligent sensing and adjustment, as well as a wet-dry vacuum, the H12 Pro. Switchbot was also at CES, and they announced a really surprising product lineup, the K20 Plus, which is a multitasking modular robot vacuum, which has a mini robot vacuum integrated into what they're calling a fusion platform, which can connect to a host of different attachments and devices like an air purifier or a pan tilt camera for security monitoring, or lots of delivery options like a table attachment. They demo it with an adaptable stand to move tablets around, an oscillating fan, and more. But they say that the fusion platform is designed to unlock customization and flexibility for DIY enthusiasts. enthusiasts because it supports integration with custom-made attachments, 3D printed components, and third-party devices with multiple power ports. Switchbot also announced multiple bin options ranging from standard auto-empty bins to bins with cordless vacuum dock options, even a station that uses a humidifier to keep its clean water tank full automatically. Switchbot has also announced their S20 series, which is a more traditional robot vacuum. It has an extendable side brush and an extendable mopping roller brush. Moving on to Ecovacs. Their new flagship, the Dbot X8 Pro Omni, was their big announcement. The X8 marks the first time that Ecovacs has used a rolling mop head on a robot vacuum. They call this mopping component the Osmo Roller Mop, and they've teamed up with their sub-company Tineco to put essentially the same rolling mop head that Tineco has perfected on their upright floor washers into this robot vacuum. Some notable features on the X8 include their brand new edge sensing technology, which creates a real-time 3D map of the environment for upgraded navigation. Ecovacs is also featuring their new T50 robot vacuum series at CES, which uses the more traditional spinning mop pad design. Eureka, one of the oldest vacuum brands, is still a relative newcomer to the premium robot vacuum market. Eureka is building on last year's J20 with their new J15 series, this time using two spinning mop pads as opposed to the single roller design on the previous version. The J15 also has yet another threshold crossing system, which seems very similar to Dreame's system with extending wheel mechanisms. The J15 also has something called IntelliView AI 2.0, and Eureka says it's the first robot vacuum capable of identifying and adapting to transparent liquid spills. Eufy announced their new E20, which is doing something very interesting. That is, using a cordless vacuum base as the suction motor for a robot vacuum. This base can be detached and used as a cordless vacuum or handheld vacuum with various attachments as well. They're only claiming it has 8,000 pascals of suction when used in robot vacuum mode though, which although is a lot compared to previous robot vacuums, it isn't that much compared to the 12,000 pascals or so that we've been seeing with flagships this year. So the E20 is probably more of a convenience thing than a suction upgrade thing. Moving on to Narwal, which announced their new flagship robot vacuum, the Narwal Flow. It's their first roller mop style robot vacuum that also automatically extends for edge cleaning, something that seems to be becoming standard for roller mops. Narwal is also emphasizing the twin edge obstacle avoidance on the Flow, which is a 2-camera system trained on 200 objects. Narwal also announced some lower priced products, the Frio Z10, as well as a mid-level option, the Frio Pro, and most of these products are expected to launch in the spring of 2025. Another robot vacuum company, 3i, announced 2 new products at CES, the P10 Ultra and the G10 Plus. The P10 Ultra has a new edge mopping system and upgraded navigation and obstacle avoidance. The G10 Plus, on the other hand, features a debris compression system as opposed to an auto-empty bin. There wasn't much regular vacuum news to report this year, but Tineco, as always, had a great booth showcasing several new floor care products, with the most exciting being the Floor One S9 Artist Steam. This is Tineco's upgrade to the Floor One Stretch S6, featuring several new and advanced cleaning technologies. If you want more in-depth coverage, check out the links below or just go to robotvacuumnews.com and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching.